This may be one of the more uncertain times in the real estate market in recent years. I talk to homeowners all the time, potential sellers, potential soon-to-be home buyers, and a lot of people are all over the board if they want to buy or sell right now, or thinking they may want to wait. They're unsure of what's happening in the economy, what's happening with the real estate market, with interest rates going so high. So in this video, we're going to talk about what's going on in the real estate market. We're going to get down to the numbers, look at what's actually happening in the market. What we may be able to expect moving forward. Are foreclosures coming? Is a real estate crash coming? Are things going to come to a halt? We're going to talk about all of that here so you can get an idea maybe if you're on the edge about buying or selling a home, figuring out if it is the right time for you. So in order to discuss what's happening, let's jump right into the numbers and see what's been going on in the Seattle area real estate market. So you can see right here the info on my screen. We've got both King and Snohomish County that we're going to be looking at here. So we're going to start off with the median sales price. Look at year over year numbers and look at the numbers over the last few months to see which way we are trending, which direction we are going. So if you look at the numbers here, this is the median sales price in King and Snohomish County. Over to the right here, you can see King County's median price is $779, with Snohomish being $675. These are down about 2.5%, 3.5% over the last year. Now, if we look at the graph here, you can see in September of 22, we had 800,000 and 700,000 median price points. So not a huge decrease. And that was a lot of people's concern is, okay, interest rates are going to go up. Interest rates are skyrocketing. They went from 3% to 7.5%, almost 8% now. Prices are bound to come down. Prices are going to plummet. Well, we've been over 7% with rates for quite a while now, and we really have not seen a huge decrease in those home values. As we look at the last few months, we've actually really kind of been plateauing. We've stayed really stagnant over the last few months. You can see June, July, August, September, it really has not moved at all when it comes to those median home prices in both King and Snohomish County. So this is just showing us, despite those interest rates, there are still enough buyers out in the market to support those prices from falling further. Of course, when we see a fall in prices, if we see any kind of drastic fall in prices, it comes down to simple supply versus demand. We have to have a lot more supply than we do demand. So let's look at the new listings that are coming on the market, the total inventory that we're seeing. And this is a big reason why, despite those interest rates, we have not seen a huge drop in home prices, and why, personally, I don't think we will. Let's look at these numbers for new listings. You can see in King County here, year over year, we're down 26%. Snohomish County, we're down 32%. Again, back to supply and demand. The supply has fallen 26 to 32%. Now, a big reason that we are seeing this happening is because so many homeowners have 3% interest rates on their home. They either bought when rates were really low, or they refinanced their home when those rates were at that point. Now that rates are up to 7.5%, 8%, a lot of those owners do not want to move. They don't want to put their house on the market and then have to buy another home at the current rates. So a lot of people are staying put, and it's really dampening down the amount of inventory we're having in the market. Now let's go over down here and let's look at the days on market. This is another important stat to tell us kind of what's going on with these homes. We saw a slight reduction in those home prices, but it's really been plateauing over the last few months. We want to look at days on market here, the median days on market in King and Snohomish County. You can see we were hanging out right around 5-6 days average on market, median days on market in these areas for quite a while, and then we really started to jump up. We are currently hovering right around 11 to 12 days on market. So it's almost doubled over that time, a 66% increase year over year in King County and an 83% increase in Snohomish County year over year. And I'm seeing this with a lot of my clients, a lot of my buyers that are looking for homes, that we have a lot more options with things sitting on the market. And with that, we have a lot more leverage when we're putting offers on that home. We can negotiate further off the list price. We can negotiate more repairs after inspection. There's a lot more that we can do, and we can negotiate the seller to help pay for interest rate buy downs to really help on that front with those buyers. Now, the days on market have been going up. Let's look at what's actually happening with those sales prices. Are they going down on average. And if we look at the average price, the average percent of sale price to list price, we can see that has gone down as well. At certain points, we were up near 106% here in both King and Snohomish County, you can see, and now we have fallen down to about 99%. This is the average. Let's look at the median percentage. Again, median percentage, we were up 102, 103% of list price most homes were going for just last year, and now that has fallen actually down closer to 100%. So you can see there are more options when it comes to negotiating that sales price. If you are a buyer out in the market, you have more opportunities to get that home at a lower price. We said early in 2020, 2021, halfway through 2022, that if you saw a home listed for sale online, don't look at that list price, because that's not what the home is going to sell for. Places were going 10 to 30% over asking price in those days. Now we're flipped the other way, and we're saying, hey, if you see a list price on this home online, don't think you're necessarily going to have to pay that. There's a very good chance we're going to be able to negotiate the price of that home and get it a little bit lower. So just keep that in mind. Furthermore, if you look at the sale price ratio to the original list price before they started making price reductions on that home, again, 106% is where we were originally early last year. That has fallen all the way to 97%. So it's a big difference in what's happening with the sales prices of these homes compared to what they're going on the market for. So with these numbers, you can really see that the opportunity for buyers right now is a lot greater than it's been in the past. Now, yes, you will have less options to choose from when it comes to the total amount of inventory hitting the market, but you will have more options when it comes to the number of homes that will actually be available to you, because the bidding wars are almost non-existent. There are a few homes, yes, here and there. They're very desirable, priced really well, that can get a few offers on them. But for the most part, a lot of homes are getting one offer, two offers, or they're sitting for a month or 2 months. So it's a lot more opportunity for those of you that are thinking about buying a home right now. Now, again, on this front, a lot of you buyers are concerned about those interest rates, and rightfully so. They're up around 7.5% to 8%. And it's a harder pill to swallow when we were closer to 3% rates just a couple of years ago. Now, the great thing again about this market and having more leverage, we can actually negotiate oftentimes the seller to pay for an interest rate buy down for you. There's a lot of different interest rate buy down programs that you can talk with your mortgage lender about, but there are options to get that rate much lower than 7.5% or 8% for the first couple of years, and you can get that down very oftentimes in the 5% range with those interest rate buy down options. So just keep that in mind. Don't let that completely deter you from shopping for a home right now, because there are options to avoid that. Now, a lot of buyers have said, okay, I'm going to wait until interest rates go down. I'm going to wait to buy until the rates go back down so it's more affordable for me to buy. The thing you have to think about there is once the interest rates go back down, everybody's thinking the same thing. So all of the buyers are going to come out of the woodwork. And now these homes that are selling on average under list price, that are getting usually just one offer, that are sitting on the market, that have leverage to negotiate against, all of those homes are now going to start getting multiple offers again when those interest rates go down. All the buyers are going to come out, and people are going to start bidding on homes again, and they're going to start going over list price again. So when you look at it, the chance that you're going to be able to save on your monthly mortgage payment when you're waiting for the interest rates to go down is actually not very likely. It's a very good opportunity to take advantage while the prices and lack of competition are where they are right now. Now, a lot of people's concern is, okay, what happens if the market crashes, right? There's a lot going on in our economy. Interest rates are so high. What if the real estate market crashes right after I bought a home? Now, this is a valid concern, and we always want to look at what's happening in the grand scheme of things, and if the market crash is a realistic possibility. And one thing I keep going back to is it's all about supply versus demand. If you don't have more supply than you do demand, the market's not going to crash. Simple as that. If there are enough buyers out to support the homes that are on the market and support close to those prices, you are not going to see a crash in the market as a whole, the real estate market specifically. Just because we have an economic recession does not mean we have a crash in real estate prices. So keep that in mind. So If we're going to increase the supply to far outweigh the demand in the market, how is that going to happen? A lot of people point to, well, foreclosures. That's how that happens. That's how it happened in 2008 when the market crashed, and that's how it would happen again. Well, in 2008, our problem was subprime mortgages. That was the subprime mortgage crisis that caused the economic crash, the real estate crash there. That is not an issue we have right now. So let's look at mortgage delinquencies to see where we're at. How many people are actually behind on their mortgage and are at risk of going into foreclosure? So let's look at some stats here. This is consumerfinance.org. We're going to look at the percentage of mortgages that are 90 days or more delinquent. And this graph shows us from January of 2008 to December of 2022. So I've got both Washington and the U.S. as a whole here pulled up on the graph. So you can see in 2008, as we got through the crash here, mortgage delinquencies were going up 2, 3, up to 4+% in the U.S. and in Washington as well. And then we came back down, of course, as the market recovered. And you can see this trend line. We have consistently moved down, and we are continuing to move further down. So delinquency rates right now in Washington, about 0.2% at the end of last year. This is the most updated numbers that we have, but 0.2% in Washington at the end of last year. Compare that to right before the market crashed in 2008. It was 0.7, 0.8, 1% it started going up to. So we are far under that point. United States, 0.5% currently for those mortgage delinquencies 90 days or longer. Again, far, far below where we would expect any kind of massive foreclosures hitting the market. Let's look at one more key stat here. This is the total delinquencies in the United States, and we're comparing June of 2022 to June of 2023. So you can see here we have 30 days more past due. This is kind of give us a year-over-year look at things to see how things are moving. In 2022, June, we had 2.9%. That has actually fallen year over year down to 2.6%. Mortgage delinquencies 30 days or more did not increase. It went down. It improved. So that's not something that's indicating to us that mortgage delinquencies and foreclosures are going to increase. Looking here, 30 to 59 days, 1.2 to 1.3, a very slight increase. Same thing with 60 to 89, a very, very slight increase. 90 to 119 days, nothing, it just plateaued, it stayed where it is. And then again, a larger decrease, 120 plus days past due, where you really start to get into some bad territory here. Went from 1.1% in June of 22 to 0.8% in June of 23. And the actual amount of homes that are in foreclosure has not increased at all. It stayed at 0.3% nationally. So this is a really important number to look at, because if we're not going to get an increase in the amount of foreclosures in the market, we're not going to see an oversupply in the market causing real estate prices to dramatically fall. There's so many people that have a lot of equity in their home, especially with how much home values increased in 2020, 2021, and 2022. There's a lot of people that own a lot of equity in their home. And if they do get in a bad position financially, maybe they lost their job where they can't afford to keep their home, most of them are going to be able to avoid going into foreclosure, and they're just going to be able to sell their home on the market because they have plenty of equity. So until we see something that's telling us, hey, we're going to have a lot more supply coming up here soon because of things happening in the economy, it's really hard to see the real estate market crashing or prices to come down any more than they are. What we've really seen, we think here, is the plateau of prices. Prices did come down a little bit, and now they have just stayed plateaued. They've stayed stagnant for the last handful of months. And that's where we think we're going to end up. As we go through the winter, it's probably going to stay the same. And then as we get into the spring season, the prime selling time, who knows what's going to happen with interest rates then. But if we don't see a dramatic raise in interest rates anymore, it's very likely that those prices can start to incrementally go back up. So just keep that in mind if you're thinking of buying or selling in this real estate market. It's kind of my thoughts of where we're at, what the numbers are showing us. As always, I'm an active real estate agent in the greater Seattle area. So if you're looking to buy or sell a home over here, have some questions, want to talk through if this is the right time for you to buy or sell, feel free to let me know. I'd be more than happy to help you out with that. Thanks for watching.